Welcome to MentorUsLive. As you know, our goal with this show is to bring about a different narrative through young people with their businesses and ideas who are making an impact and hoping that we will inspire you to start your own. Today, our guest is phenomenal. With over 8 years experience in the food industry. I mean, surely, you can see the way it inspired my dressing. You know what, I'm so excited. So what are we having today?
So today we're having my famous prawn and mussel pasta.
Oh.
Yep, I'm going to teach you how to make that.
You got me at prawns, I love prawns.
Okay,
right.
Are we ready?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay, so I've prepped most of the stuff already, so I'll just walk you through what I've done.
Right.
I've done most of the prawns, so I've left one prawn just to show you how I've prepared them. I've left it with the head on and the tail just for garnish, okay? So we're going to butterfly it first, which is cutting it down the middle.
Right.
Yep. And then we devein it.
Okay.
I won't tell you what we're deveining.
So let's say, hypothetically speaking, I'm at home, I'm cooking, and then I don't devein it. What happens to me?
Nothing will happen. You'll just be eating something rather gross.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to take the vein out. Okay, so we've butterflied it now. We've deveined it.
Okay.
I'll put it with the rest of the prawns. Okay, now Nestor is going to bring me my small pan. Any questions thus far?
No, I'm just salivating.
Okay, so we're going to cook the prawns first. Actually, we're going to put them on first and then go straight with the pasta because the pasta is already cooked, so it won't take long to do that.
Okay.
So I've got a bit of water here. I'll put some water. This is so slow. White wine, some vino.
I see. I thought you were drinking on the job.
That's why it's there, not
Okay.
for me to drink.
All right.
Maybe after this.
I believe you.
Got some paprika. Okay. Let me have some butter. If it comes off.
Okay.
Then we have some lemon juice. And then we have garlic. And then this is my very secret ingredient, so I'm not going to tell you what it is because then you'll all know how I make my prawns.
Ah.
Yes. Then I'm going to whisk it. Nestor, please put the stove on.
So when was the first time you made prawns?
The first time I made prawns was probably in high school, but I didn't make them properly. I only learned how to properly make them when I was in uni.
Okay.
I think I was overcooking them all along.
Right. All right.
Okay, so we're just going to give Nestor the pan.
Nestor does this thing.
Yep. Let me know when it's starting to cook. Can I please have the other pan? Okay. Then we're going to do the pasta.
Okay.
Okay. So the pasta's already cooked. We're going to put some white wine in there again. All the white wine. I like my white wine, in case you didn't notice.
You got some more?
Would you like to drink some?
Well, off the camera, yeah.
And then I'm going to put some mustard, Dijon mustard.
Okay.
Okay. And then some more garlic. I like my garlic,
I love garlic, yeah.
in case you haven't noticed. Okay. Some spring onions. Put them in there. Then we're going to put the pasta. I've already cooked the pasta. I put it in boiling water for 7 minutes.
Okay.
And I put oil in it after that so that it doesn't stick together.
Right.
Okay. Then I'll season it with salt and pepper. Pepper. Right, so we're going to put the prawns in its little marinade soup.
Okay.
Okay. Then you leave the mussels. Okay. Hey, Nestor, this is the lowest heat. Okay. But then you can cut out and jump and skip, isn't it? Yeah. Okay. Then we've got the pasta here, which is already cooked. So we're just heating it up basically. I haven't used any oil on the pasta. Don't put that.
So.
Okay. Nestor, can I please have the cream? Okay. Thank you. Gonna put the fresh cream. And we're just gonna let it cook. And then this is when we put the mushrooms and the mussels in, because we don't want the mushrooms to get too soft. They must still be nice and crunchy. Sorry. And then the mussels in. Thank you. You make a good kitchen mate.
Oh,
Kitchen assistant chef.
Yes. Did you hear that, guys? I got a future.
Okay, trying not to break the head off, so that we keep it for the garnish.
Yum, yum, yum.
Okay, let me just wait for it to cook. Okay, my prawns are done. And then what I do, I pour this into the pasta. Okay. I need mozzarella cheese and basil, please. Thank you. So then we add freshly chopped basil to this.
Okay.
And the mozzarella cheese last. The basil really enhances the flavor.
Okay.
Okay?
So,
Thank you. Okay. And can I please get some pepper? I told you, I love my pepper.
I love pepper, yeah. This is so cool.
Okay, and then we are pretty much ready to dish up. We shall put the prawns in as we're dishing. All right, so here we are. We're gonna dish it onto the plate now with my tongs.
Yes.
Mussels. Voila! There is our prawn and mussel pasta.
I like this. Look at that. So I need to taste.
You need to taste this. We need to get you some cutlery.
All right, let's dig in.
Don't judge me too harshly.
I love food, so it's probably a pass already. Oh wow, that's a lot.
It is.
All right, let me do this again.
Just open your mouth wide. Perfecto.
Right. Yes. You know that growing up, we're not taught how to use it.
The moment of truth.
How does Gordon do it? Splendid.
Oh, you're not going to swear me?
Splendid. Beautiful. It's a win.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
It's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
You know what? Firstly, thank you so much for having us.
Thank you.
That was a splendid meal.
Thank you very much.
What is it called, by the way?
Prawn and mussel pasta.
Yes.
My own special.
I like it. I like it. So maybe without telling me the price per se, let's say $3 signs are extremely expensive, and then $1 sign means affordable. What range? Is it a $1, $2, or $3 sign?
$2.
Yeah. Average. Cool. It's worth it.
Yeah.
I like it. So thank you so much. Welcome to MentorUsLive.
Thank you. Thank you for having me on your show.
Yeah. So I know you, Zandile. I've known you for a while.
Yeah.
From the time you were at the Livingston area until you're here now.
Yeah.
But someone watching doesn't know you. Would you be able to just give us a brief background of who you are and what you're up to?
Okay. So my full name is Zandile Alice Mubi. Zandile means many because I was the third daughter my dad had.
Okay. And he's like, oh, it's many
like,
girls.
Where's my son? Exactly. I went to 4 different schools. That's a long story for another day. Okay. But anyway, I studied in Australia. That's where I did my chef course, commercial cookery. So I did a diploma in commercial cookery and then a degree in hospitality management. Okay. So I have both sides of front of house and back of house.
Nice. So it's not like it was one of those by faith things, like
no,
we meet a lot of CEOs without boards and a lot of chefs who are actually just cooks. So this is like a professional qualification.
Yes, it is. Beautiful. I'm a professional chef.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So pretty much my passion came from cooking when I was young, watched my mom in the kitchen and everything, and then I worked at my mom and dad's bar, Landanas, you might know it.
London, yes.
Landanas.
No, I don't know what that is. All right.
Yeah, so before I went to uni, I helped my mom in the kitchen there. I ran the kitchen for a bit, and then I went off to uni. Nice. And so I was in Australia from 2009 to 2013.
Right.
And when I came back home, I started a catering company called Zandi Loves Food. And then I applied for, you were talking about the place at Livingston.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
by Allianz. I never got it the first time.
Right.
And then I applied the second time and I got it.
Nice.
And then here we are today. Exactly.
Chez Zandi is a household name now. There's so many events that happened whilst you were in Livingston, and my personal favorite was the mesh, because my boy, Ralph.
Oh, Ralph.
Yeah. But throughout your journey, what were some of the notable low times that you went through as a chef, coming from Australia into Zimbabwe and trying to start this?
The first 2 years were my hardest. The first 2 years of running the business. It seems easy, but once you're in it, you notice it's a lot harder. The customers aren't just gonna come, they're not just gonna flock in all at once. So it took a long time for me to build up and understand what my customers wanted. So from the menu I had in the beginning, I ended up changing it totally. Right. Because it was more of the fine dining sort of menu, and then I was like, this isn't working. All right. So that was, I'd say the first 2 years were my hardest. I was literally, it was like hand to mouth.
Right.
Yeah, right. Literally just surviving, paying my salaries, expenses and rent. But then...
Did you ever think of giving up?
No, I didn't actually.
What was that driving force?
Well, I guess I've watched my parents do it for so long, and I just figured if they can do it, there's no reason why I can't. So I was like, I just have to keep on pushing. Right. And there was no other option. I was like, there's no option but for me to make this work.
Right.
Yeah.
I like that in most of your answers, you mentioned parents. Have they been like a foundational part of the business?
My biggest supporters, they're there for me through everything. I honestly couldn't have started Chez Zandi without them. They've both played different roles. My dad was there more on the design of the business, doing the renovations, helping me along with that. Mom was there more on giving me advice how to run the day-to-day operations and everything. I literally, my first few months, I was calling my mom, no lie, like 10 times a day. What am I supposed to do here? What do I do? And she never once got annoyed with me.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's mama's love, eh?
Yeah, and Dad has been there as well. He's comes quite often. He was a big part of marketing the place, telling all his people to come and, you know.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
and just, you know, talking to the guests when they come. So they've both played very big roles in helping me start this.
So also from my end, coming from like a family business, which is Pemco Bakery,
Yeah.
there's a question I've always been asked, and I would like to ask this to you.
Yeah.
How do you balance, you know, the conflict? Because business is business, but it can also kind of overflow
Yeah.
to home. Like you burn something or break a glass, and like, Jimmy, I'm going to depend on my glass. Like, mom. So how do you handle conflict when you work with your parents, like frequently?
I think that, like, yeah, my dad and I in the beginning would have a lot of shouting matches because there's a certain way I wanted things done and he was like, no, but I think you should do it this way. And then we'd have like a shouting match, and then literally an hour later we're back to normal. The shouting match is over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
We've heard each other out.
I think for men it's different. For boys, because we are stubborn.
Exactly.
Like, where's my supper?
It's my way or the highway. Yeah.
And within your brands, who are some of the most notable names that you've catered to?
British Council. I've catered for the Haifa High Tea Party, Shoko Festival, Hivos, sorry. Yeah.
And what's like your customer acquisition strategy? How do you get those? Because I think there are a lot of people who cook, but they don't know how to get those clients. How do you get them?
I think it's mostly through word of mouth. And whenever I go and cater at embassies or corporate functions, I always leave my cards on the table. Yeah, so word of mouth and marketing. Facebook marketing, Instagram marketing, but mostly I would say word of mouth and then handing my cards out when I go to these events. Oh, and National Gallery.
Yes.
Yeah, that's another big one I used to cater for.
Okay.
But because of COVID, obviously now it's slowed down a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Speaking of COVID, yeah, I mean, COVID has affected a lot of young people's businesses.
Yeah.
But I think my major question for you is how have you managed to adapt, or what have you done to keep yourself afloat with the company? Because I see like your new site opened during that period.
Yeah,
How did you do it?
I think I was lucky that the old site was still running when we first started operating this one. So that helped here a lot, like to keep up with the expenses and everything. But it's tough because obviously now we don't have a lot of customers, it's takeaways only. So I've had to let go of a lot of staff temporarily. So literally from having like 18 staff, I now have 6. Yeah, and before COVID, I had like almost 30 people. Now we're down to 18. So it's really affected.
But I think
my
at least
staff.
the food quality is still on point.
Has to be.
That's my pasta.
Yeah.
All right, no, that's cool. Just as a thought, let's assume that you had to, you know, make a decision of a career decision again. Would you still choose to be a chef?
Always.
Yeah.
I can't imagine myself doing anything else. I always say I can't imagine an 8-to-5 job, sitting at a desk, like my concentration span would just, no. I like to move around, I like to be active, you know, I can't sit at a desk the whole day, every day for the rest of my life.
Chef,
it's interesting. You're in the kitchen, you're out talking to customers, you know, there's variety here. It's very hard to get bored.
And what have you had to sacrifice to make sure that your career keeps growing or your business keeps growing? Because I mean, as a young entrepreneur, there's a lot of sacrifices. What's been your maybe 2 major?
Well, I don't know for sure, but maybe I would have been married and had kids if
Ah.
I was in a different career.
It still can happen, I guess.
Yeah, it will, I'm sure. Obviously, it will, I have faith. But it probably would have happened sooner, but then I think if that had happened, I wouldn't be where I am today because it does take a lot of my time, especially pre-COVID. I was barely ever at home. It's very, very time consuming. But yeah, I think that's the only thing I can say that might have been disturbed by the career I've chosen. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I mean, you've lived in Australia for quite some time.
Yeah, 4 years.
4 years. You obviously had time to interact with entrepreneurs and other business owners there. If you're to give someone who's watching the show advice on how to kind of upgrade themselves as entrepreneurs, what notable features have you seen as being different between the entrepreneurs out there and those in here?
Ooh, that's a hard question.
Yeah.
I feel like you should have asked me this before the interview. The difference between Australia and here?
Or even anywhere. What advice would you give our young guys that you think they kind of lack?
I guess just not to give up easily. Look at all your options. Keep your faith strong. Believe in yourself. Yeah, keep your prayers up and motivate yourself. I talk to myself a lot in the morning. I tell myself I'm strong, I'm powerful.
Is that normal?
No, you just look in the mirror and you're like, I'm strong, I'm powerful, you know. And yeah, when you want something, go for it. Write down what you want. At the beginning of every year, I make a note of what I want to achieve in that year. I write down what I want. When I first applied for Herbert, when I applied for this place, I took pictures of both places. I stuck them in a little book and then I wrote what I wanted to achieve out of those places. So it's very important to have a vision of what you want, not to just say, okay, this is what I want, but then where do you want to take the place? What do you want to make of it? Yeah.
Oh, wow,
So that's
deep.
pretty much what I did.
And maybe just a look into the future. What does Chez Zandi look like in the next 5 years? What are you believing for?
In the next 5 years, I would like to have a second location. Okay. If money allows, maybe 2 more locations in Zimbabwe, and then maybe the next 10-year plan will be to have one out of Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would like to create a brand all over.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
And hopefully franchise?
Maybe a franchise.
And
yeah.
you can franchise that pasta to me. I like it.
We can do that.
Yeah. Okay, maybe,
Yeah.
and you know, in closing, I don't know if you have some parting shots for our friends. Where can they find you? I think that's the most important one.
Oh yes. So since we've moved location, that's very important.
Right.
So we're now at number 8 Lanark Road in Belgravia. We have the address on Facebook. Still yet to update our Google one, which I will do soon.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're in Belgravia now. Very central, very private place, inside car parking, which is a plus.
Right.
Yeah.
And that change of location, how did it influence like even your sales or your growth compared to where you were before?
I would say 95% of my customers prefer this location.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't advertised until I think 3 weeks ago that we had moved, but people were calling me, asking me where you've gone. Yeah. Have you closed or have you moved somewhere? And everyone that's come here, they love the location. Most people, yeah, they prefer this location. Yeah.
Okay, great.
And it's still quite central, I reckon. Yeah.
I mean, it's reachable. Yeah, it's really nice.
Yeah, it's not too far out of town.
Yeah.
It's only 5 minutes from the last place.
It's close.
Yeah, it
For
is
pasta?
close. Yeah.
$2 signs?
Some good pasta.
Very close.
Exactly, yeah.
Chef, thank you so much
for
making time. I know it's been hectic today.
Yeah.
But we just enjoyed even seeing you in motion and eating also.
You were doing the eating?
Yeah. So
yeah.
Thank you so much for this.
Thank you for having me on your show. Thank you so much. Yeah.
And for all of you who have been watching, thank you so much for joining us. Remember to go and eat at Chez Zandi's. You will not regret it. Remember to tell a friend, to follow us on all social media platforms, and you never know, tomorrow it could be you. Ciao.